The story opens as the main character blinks his eyes, and he wonders why it is so dark around him. He catches sight of a line of light, which breaks and he beholds a forest in front of him. So he questions what's happening, as a status window flashes in front of him. The divine voice informs him it displays his current abilities with numerical values, so he believes it's similar to a game. He asks the voice about his location, but it states it is unable to provide answers at the current level. So he grows angry at it, and tumbles down from the tree. The voice announces he gained a falling resistance skill, and he worries as he observes his MP has decreased. He starts rolling uncontrollably on the ground, but he succeeds in stopping just before plunging into the water. As he gazes at his reflection in the water, he realizes he is an egg. The voice declares he is an F-rank monster known as a dragon egg, and he will die if its shell shatters. He can become a powerful dragon with age, but he is viewed as a gourmet delicacy by adventurers, and it's common among adventurers to smash any egg they discover. But he tells her he is confused by all the terms, and he again starts rolling uncontrollably. The voice reports his roll skills level has increased to 2, and he perceives he can now control his movements. But he falls from a hill, and he notices he is down to 3 HP. So he chooses to take some rest, and he observes resting recovers his HP. So he resumes rolling, and he begins to contemplate his future as a dragon. He ponders how he is going to become one, thinking he must battle monsters for his evolution. He enters an unknown part of the forest, and spots a dark worm nearby. So he checks its status, and he sees it carries the title of Egg Eater, so he understands it's a dangerous creature for him. So he starts rolling to save his life, and the dark worm pursues him. He dreads it will eventually catch him, so he considers fighting it, but he recognizes it possesses more MP than him, and he will perish if he engages it. So he attempts to find a way to handle it, and he lures it to the edge of a hill. As the worm charged at him, he dodged it and shoved it down the hill. They both ended up tumbling down, but the egg survived the fall since he landed on the worm's body. And the voice informs him he gained 12 experience points, and an additional 12 points due to his walking egg title. The voice proclaims he has maxed out his level, and now he can evolve, so it presents him with his evolution tree. He discovers he can choose between baby dragon and little dragon, but he fails to grasp what that entails. So the voice explains the little dragon is a breed of dwarf dragon. Their full size is larger than a bear, and they are feared by the adventurers for their fire breath attack. He inquires about the other dragon, so it answers him it's not suited for battle due to short claws and fangs, but it holds great potential to evolve into many species of dragons, and they normally get hunted by monsters and adventurers. So he mulls over choosing the safer option, little dragon, but a mysterious voice compels him to grow strong for her high expectations. He questions if it was the divine voice, and the divine voice mentions her level has increased to 2, so he couldn't discern whose voice it was. But he recalls it urging him to grow stronger, and he realizes baby dragon offers so much more potential than little dragon, so he chooses to evolve into a baby dragon. He successfully evolves into a baby dragon from the dragon egg. He acquired many skills as he evolved, and he notices his stats increased significantly, but his MP and HP did not return to full. His new body starts feeling hungry, and he senses he is tempted to devour that worm. So he concludes it's his dragon instinct at work, and he ends up consuming that worm. Next morning as he awakens, he wishes he would wake up as a human, but he is disappointed when he comprehends he is reincarnated as a dragon. He cannot recall who he used to be, but he remembers he was human. He spots a group of dark worms behind him, so he begins attacking them with his claw, and the voice reports he has attained level 3. He observes he has acquired a new skill, so he continues hunting the worms, and he reaches level 15 in a short amount of time, so he believes he will easily reach the top. But his stomach begins to rumble, but he doesn't want to consume its gross meat again, so he decides to try eating the mushrooms. But they turn out to be poisonous, and the voice informs him he obtained a poison resistance skill. He starts looking for something else to eat, and he catches sight of a gray wolf nearby. He decides to fight it after recognizing its stats are lower than his, and he finishes it with a dragon punch. He notices it smells just like barbecue, so he grilled its meat with his fire, and he finds its taste amazing. So he begins hunting more gray wolves, and he reaches level 20, so he believes he needs 5 more levels to evolve. But he perceives the pace of his level up is slowing, and he wishes to have a friend to talk to. He starts hearing some voices he cannot understand, but he recognizes they are human voices. So he chooses to investigate them, and he discovers they are a group of adventurers. He decides to attempt to become their friends, and he sees they are weaker than him. So he emerges in front of them, and he tries to act cute to befriend them. But the adventurers view him as an evil dragon, so the swordsman strikes him with his sword skill, and the mage hits him with a thunder spell. So he begins to feel his body is going numb, and the voice informs him he acquired a magic resistance skill. He sees they are advancing towards him, and he fears they're going to eat him. So he starts to weep, and he notices the mage girl is attempting to defend him. He loses consciousness, but he senses the mage is healing him with her magic, so he thanks her for saving his life. He observes her name is Miriamiliania, and she is healing him despite her MP being low. He feels the paralysis on his body is wearing off, but he chooses to keep acting injured, and the voice quips he obtained the liar skill. As Miria states she has cured him, he gained the Greek language skill, so he believes he will understand her better once he levels up this skill. They suddenly hear a horrifying scream from the other 2 adventurers, so he senses there is a super strong monster nearby. So he restrains Miria as she attempts to go there, but she still proceeds there to rescue her friends. So he tries to move his body to help her, but he fails as his legs are still paralyzed. He arrives there once his legs recover, but he spots a little rock dragon standing there, and he shrieks when he sees it possesses HP in the triple digits. He sees Miria lying unconscious nearby the rock dragon, but the dragon notices him, and it starts advancing towards him. The earth dragon lunges to eat him, but the little Charmander dodges in time. He recognizes it will be stupid to fight him, so he hides behind a bush to save his tiny life. He observes Miria is barely alive, but the earth dragon is moving in her direction, so he mulls what he should do. The unknown voice informs him he should run away, and Charmander tells her he knows he is not strong enough to beat him. But he reflects on how she saved his useless life, so he resolves he will fight him to save her. He charges at the earth dragon, and skillfully evades its attack with his rolling skill, and applies the same roll to hit him on the head. He notes the earth dragon has killed the mage, but the swordsman still has some HP left. So he contemplates how to save them both, and he devised a plan of taking him away from them. But as he attempts to lure him, the earth dragon slams him with its AoE attack, and he is severely wounded by that. He realizes he doesn't have many options left, and he notices the earth dragon is using its bite attack, so Charmander delivers a fire punch, but he is astonished when the earth dragon begins to heal itself. So Charmander hoists Miria on his back, as he realizes he can't save both, and carries her to a safer place. But he observes she is losing HP due to bleeding, so he attempts to cast a healing spell, and he realizes he can't cast it. So he opts to return her to where she comes from, and he uses his nose to locate the direction of the human settlement. But as he travels in that direction, he spots a large pack of hungry gray wolves chasing him. He is ultimately encircled by them, so he prepares to battle them. As he clashes with the gray wolves to protect Miria, she briefly stirs and glimpses him fighting. She again loses consciousness, and Charmander continues carrying her in that direction. He finally arrives at a human village, so he begins shouting for help in his loud voice. But the villagers assume he is a dangerous monster who attacked Miria, so they assault him with their spears. Charmander still persists in pleading for help, but he realizes they just believe he is a dangerous monster. So he gently sets down Miria on the ground, and flees from there before the villagers kill him. The villagers retrieve Miria, and the village chief commands them to call Marielle. Charmander breathes in relief as he is certain Miria will be alright now, but he feels let down the villagers didn't believe him. Miria awakens inside a house, and she perceives Marielle standing before her. Marielle explains she was badly hurt, so she healed her with a powerful white magic she rarely uses. Miria asks her how many days she has been asleep, and she tells her it's been 2 days. Marielle chastises her for succumbing to Dozen's persuasion, and Miria asks if Dozen and Grants are all right. So Marielle reports they found Grants's crushed dead body in the forest, but they failed to locate Dozen's dead body, so they suspect he was eaten by the Earth Dragon. Miria grows distraught after learning that, and she wishes she had prevented Dozen. Marielle assures her Dozen wasn't the type to listen to others, and Miria recalls he wasn't a bad person. He always handles monsters who could harm the village, and he was revered by the children. But one day Miria witnessed Dozen quarreling with someone, since he informed Dozen he could not beat a rock dragon. And they ridiculed him for getting scared and running away, so Dozen vowed to them he would beat it this time. Next day he approached Miria to join his party, and said Marielle requested her to help them. But Miria explained that Marielle forbade her from helping them fight the rock dragon, since it is the strongest monster in the area. So he stated that Grants observed Marielle gave him permission, and Grants validated his assertion. So Miria agreed to help them, but they consented to retreat if things got dangerous. Marielle believes Dozen got himself killed by his own pride, and she praises Miria for successfully reaching the village despite her injuries. But Miria explains her belief that someone transported her out of the forest, since she fainted when she was attacked by the Earth Dragon. So Marielle asserts that not a single villager went to the forest that night, and they rescued her outside the village as a monster was about to attack her. But Miria had no recollection of anything like that, so Marielle suggests she may have suffered amnesia after receiving a huge shock. Miria vividly recalls Charmander fighting the Grey Wolves, so she inquired what the monster looked like, and she responds that she didn't see that monster. So Miria ponders if Charmander actually saved her, but she decides not to tell Marielle about it. As Charmander reawakens after taking a rest, he confirms he has fully recovered from all his injuries. He speculates on Miria's condition. As he revisits the battle against the Earth Dragon, he realizes he was not strong enough to beat him. So he vows to grow stronger. He fastens a black worm to a tree, and employs its Call Allies skill to attract other worms around it. He then begins assaulting them, so he will acquire more experience points. As he continues to farm experience, the voice informs him he has attained max level 25, and all the evolutionary requirements have been met. So the voice presents him with 5 different evolutionary paths, but he is bewildered by all the paths. So the voice details the attributes of different paths he can choose, and he discovers some paths have more potential to grow than others. He inquires about the path called Young Dragon, but the voice offers no response. So he chooses to listen to a proper explanation before picking the path, and the voice states Mini Dragon has slow growth and few evolution paths, so he rejects it. Next the voice informs him Mini Angel Dragon can wield various white magic, but they are weak in combat. He considers using healing magic like Miria, but he discards the option since it is weak in combat. So the voice explains Kid Dragon is the next stage of Baby Dragon, and Charmander understands it's a stronger version of his current self. The voice reveals the Kid Marble Dragon is a dragon that underwent a sudden mutation, and he has the highest magic power. So Charmander concludes it would be a superior choice in the long run. The voice warns him that the young plague dragon is an evil dragon that spreads disaster, so he swiftly dismisses it. But the voice mentions its ability to use human transformation, and Charmander recognizes he could transform into a human to access villages. But he still cannot make a decision since it is an evil dragon. He feels Plague Dragon is a bad idea, but he badly longs for the human transformation skills so he can meet Miria. So he opts to evolve into the young Plague Dragon, and he instantly morphs into a medium-sized black dragon. But he doesn't like how evil he looks, and the voice informs him he can now examine details of his own skills. His divine voice also advances, and he ends up acquiring a bunch of evil skills and titles. So he concludes this is all really bad for him, and he observes he doesn't possess the human transformation skill. So he inquires of the voice about it, but the voice states it cannot offer an explanation at its current level. So he felt dejected, and begins to ponder about the skills he acquired. So the voice tells him he can disperse debilitating miasma by flapping wings, and it can annihilate nations when it attains max level. Charmeleon grows frantic as he registers that, and he inquires about his next skill. So the voice informs him his breath attack induces severe debuffs, and it is extremely contagious that once annihilated an entire civilization. Charmeleon recognizes he is accumulating more and more evil skills, so he asks if he can revert to a good guy path, and he inquires of the voice about his title. The voice states his title of Itty Bitty Hero may steer him to a heroic status, and it exerts major influence on evolution paths. So Charmeleon considers advancing this title to avert the evil dragon route. Then he inquires about his other title, and the voice informs him his wrongdoer title is for diabolic villains who amass mountains of corpses. So Charmeleon tells her it's the worst skill he's ever encountered, and he laments to revert to a baby dragon form. As Marielle inspects the warding stone of the village, Miria asks her if they will inspect all of them, speculating if they hinder monsters from breaching the village. So Marielle explains they deter them from straying past this point, and they can prove ineffective against strong-willed monsters. Miria asks if that monster possessed strong will, and Marielle informs her she is not sure, but it's a problem if he gained entry due to the stone had fractured, so she proceeds to inspect other stones. Marielle restored all the stones, and Miria asks her to share more about monsters. Marielle observes she developed an odd obsession with monsters ever since that incident, so Miria states she senses she was rescued by a small dragon, and Marielle suspects she is fostering affection for a monster. So she resolves to tell her about monsters. She explains monsters can mature into different forms, and they achieve this by preying on other creatures to advance their level. Miria asks her if this is similar to humans advancing by acquiring experience, and Marielle informs her different monster types possess different maximum level. Monsters continually mature to assume more powerful forms over time, and Miria is surprised to discover people manage to discern the nature of monsters. But Marielle informs her she detailed this to her 11 years ago, and Miria states she cannot recall since she was only 5 years old. So Marielle tells her heroes and saints emerge time to time who can perceive a divine voice, and they disseminate information about monsters and levels. She cautions her monsters grow more ferocious as they mature, and that little dragon will mature into something more menacing. As she cautions her he will direct those fangs and claws on her, Miria shrieks at her to cease speaking that, but she offers an apology after recognizing what she uttered. So Marielle advises her not to maintain any expectations of monsters since they're incompatible with them, and Miria fears Charmander will alter after he matured. Charmeleon proclaims he will advance and re-embark on the right track, and he resolves to learn human transformation, so he can reunite with Miria again. As he commences a hunt for some weak monsters around the area, he observes he is immobilized. So he finds himself trapped in a spider web, and a huge spider emerges behind him. Charmeleon notes it is super strong, and he employs baby breath to ward off himself from its web attack. But he observes he is also ablaze, and the voice informs him he has acquired fire-resistant skill. He notes his attack inflicted little damage to the spider, so he launches an assault with his paralyzing venom claws, but he is stunned to observe it still possesses half of its HP, and he assumes he enraged it. So he resolves to flee for his life while it's paralyzed, but he gasps when the spider starts pursuing him. So he attempts to employ his fly skill, but he was unable to take flight even after attempting many times. So he again begins to tumble to distance himself, and he worries why it has not grown weary even after 10 minutes. The voice informs him his rolling skill has advanced to 3, and he spots a cliff ahead. So he thinks he can flee if he leaps to the other side, and he resolves to leap at full speed. As he leaps from the cliff, he employs his wings to soar on the wind. After he soars to the other side, he observes the spider is missing on the other side, so he thinks it must have departed. But he shrieks when he spots the spider employs its webbing to traverse the gap. So he resumes tumbling again, and the voice informs him his rolling level has advanced to 4. As he persists in tumbling, he confronts many monsters on his way, and he incapacitates them all. This yields him experience points, and his plague dragon level attains 8. So he thinks now he can vanquish the spider, and he pauses to examine its skills. He observes the spider employs its AoE attack double poison, so he quickly springs back on a tree branch. He then sees the spider awaits for the poison to take effect, but he remains unconcerned as he is poison resistant. He begins to feign collapsing to entice the spider, and the moment spider leaps into the air to assault him, he scorches it with his baby breath attack, and slams it with his tail to slay it. The voice informs him his level has advanced to level 14, and he is elated when he acquires some new skills. But he grows dejected when he is denied the human transformation skill. Charmeleon catches a grey wolf for the dinner, and he spots a cave as he seeks a place to repose. So he shouts if someone resides within, and enters once he confirms it's empty. He seared the wolf meat on fire, but he grumbles it emits a smell, so he spiced it with some fruits that resemble pepper, and he is satisfied it eliminated the smell and rendered it more tasty. The voice informs him he has acquired the title of Mr. Chef, so he muses if he can gain renown with villagers with his cooking. But he recognizes it will fail because of his scary look, and he fears even Miria would fail to recognize him now. So he pleads to the voice to bestow him the human transformation skill, as he realizes he committed a huge mistake by opting for this evolution. Old Man Bertz tells Miria he glimpsed Dozen right outside the village, so she asks him to share more, and he informs her he spotted him venturing deeper in the forest until he vanished. The village chief observes Miria appears distressed for Dozen, so he tells her what transpired is not her fault. But she proceeds to Marielle to solicit permission to enter the forest, and Marielle heatedly asserts she must not enter there. So Miria requests her to organize a searching party for Dozen, but Marielle states she must not endanger the life of others. She observes Miria is growing distraught, so she informs her she will petition the guild to end some adventurers, and Miria expresses regret for acting so unreasonable. Charmeleon awakens with cheer after last night's dinner, and now he strives to advance to secure the human transformation skill. He spots an unknown creature nearby, and he considers he should amass some experience as it appears feeble. But as he attempts to examine its status, his head commences throbbing badly, and his view skill advances to 4, and he shrieks in fear as he discerns a glimpse of its status. Charmeleon sweats nervously as he contemplates what that thing is, and he runs away as that thing approaches him. He sighed with relief after coming far away from that slime, but he observed its status wasn't anything special, and he opts to leave alone that thing. So he walks in a different direction to search for food, and he spots a pot lying near a tree. So he plans he can use it to put fruits in it, but as he reaches for it, it attacks him since it is a monster. Charmeleon notes it's a D-rank monster called Patortus as he checks its status, so he struck it with his dragon punch. But he observed it inflicted little damage, so he assaults it ferociously with his claws, and it heals itself with his skill. So Charmeleon takes it to the edge, and hurls it into the river as he knew it can't swim. The voice informs him he has earned 36 experience points, and he is unhappy he gained more evil titles because of this. He noticed so many Patortus behind as he looks back, and he realizes they come to help that Patortus. Charmeleon stares in fear as the Patortus starts to merge, but he sees they are just trying to look big while holding each other. So he leaps and seizes the Patortus on the top, and he defeats them by slamming it onto the rest of them with force. The voice informs him he has gained skill meteorite, and he earns 594 experience points, which doubles due to effect of his walking egg title. Charmeleon observes their shells always break when he beats them, and he butchers the Patortus for its meat. Charmeleon then searches for some vegetables, and he catches some weird sound steps he never heard before. He feels something is off as he spots it's a bear, so he examines its status, and he discovers it's a D-rank monster called Clay Bear. So Charmeleon questions if he can beat a monster with same level as him, and he wonders if it's a bear-shaped clay since it's called Clay Bear. He rejoices as he thinks he can make stuff like pots and jars with its clay, and he decides to fight it. Charmeleon jumps on a tree branch to launch a sneak attack on the Clay Bear, but as he jumps down to attack it, the Clay Bear attempts to devour him by opening its stomach, and he panics as he survives that attempt. Charmeleon strikes it with his roll skill, and he observed it drained a good amount of HP. But the clay bear employs regenerate to heal itself, and Charmeleon concludes he cannot win this way. So he chooses to employ hit and run tactics until he devises a strategy to defeat it, but the clay bear again uses regenerate, and it conjures a massive sandstorm with its skill. Claybear morphs its body to grow spikes on its body, and Charmeleon groans since now he can't hit it with his roll attack. But he observes it has lost a lot of MP, and he dodges when the claybear hurls its clay spikes at him. As he observes the clay softens when it's away from the body, he snatches some clay from its body, and employs his claws to mold it into a ball shape. Charmeleon then utilizes the ball to strike Claybear with his meteorite skill, and he succeeds in destroying half of its body. The voice informs him he gained 150 experience points, and it doubles due to the effect of his walking egg title. Charmeleon gains 3 levels from this fight, and he is happy he got the clay. He returns to his cave, and begins crafting some items from the clay in the fire furnace. Charmeleon then departs to search for some food while he waits for it to finish firing. He plucks a lightning mushroom, and the voice informs him it has slightly paralyzing poison, so he discards it since he doesn't have resistance to paralysis. And he opts to appraise a flower. He slashes it down since it tries to suddenly attack him, and voice reveals to him it's a rare carnivorous flower that cannot digest salt, so the salt is accumulated in the white part of its root. Charmeleon observes salt is crucial for cooking, so he chooses to carry it with him. Miria feels guilty for what happened with Dozen and Grants, so she heads inside the forest to seek for Dozen despite Marielle's warning. She incinerates a black worm as it attempts to sneak attack her, and she continues plunging deeper into the forest to find Dozen. Charmeleon discovers some monster shroom that becomes monster after reaching maturity, and voice informs him it tastes similar to meat. So Charmeleon believes it will make a flavorful broth when simmered, and he stumbled upon another weird mushroom. The voice identifies its Morotrogia and has a value of A, and it mentions it is hallucinogenic and causes intense euphoria. So Charmeleon vows he will never touch it as he incinerates it, and his itty bitty hero title hits level 2. The voice explains that Piperus has a unique aroma and was considered the most popular spice, and it once had the same value as gold due to its high demand among nobles. So Charmeleon opts to collect some to try, and he comes back to the cave with some light shrooms to illuminate the cave. He then inspects the furnace, and he is happy his pots are ready to cook. So he employs it to cook the things he gathered all day, and he is delighted it tastes amazing. Charmeleon senses he has recovered a life he had forgotten as he finishes the dish, and his title Mr. Cook reaches level 2. Charmeleon observes the bowl is a bit hard to drink from, so he resolves to craft some more utensils, and voice announces to him he acquired the title of ceramic artisan. We spot a carriage advancing toward the forest, and the rider notifies them they have arrived at their destination. One of them states the guild wants them to investigate this forest as they emerge to observe it. Charmeleon constructs a home with the bricks he created, and he rounds up all the wolves to butcher the meat and strips the pelts from them. He then departs to inspect the jerky he is preparing, and he drives off the monkeys when he spots they are eating it. He concludes he must repel them to protect his jerky, so he gathers all the poisonous mushrooms he could find, and he soaks some jerky in the poisonous concoction he cooked. He observes he can now discern visually if a plant is poisonous or not, and he spots some poisoned flowers around there. As he desires to decorate his cave with flowers to mitigate the pain of everyday life, he encounters a monster he has never seen before. So he discovers it is named Venom Princess Lacerda, and he observes it only has poison-related skills. He becomes surprised when it suddenly disappears from his sight, and it sinks its poisonous fangs into his back. Charmeleon immediately starts to sense a weird pain, and the voice informs him his poison resistance has advanced to level 4. But he senses he can't even move his shoulders, and it starts to blur his sight as he collapses onto the ground. Charmeleon starts to think about how he can fix the poison, and he checks its status to learn more about it. He learns its bodily fluids can work as an antidote, so he thinks he needs to capture it. Charmeleon starts running away to bait her out of hiding, and he sees her when she chases him. So Charmeleon begins running after her, and she shoots clay bullets at him. He manages to dodge them, but as he tries to catch her, she begins to fall down in the river. Charmeleon jumps to catch her, and the poison starts damaging him badly, but he still manages to catch her. He then uses baby breath to jump back to the land, and he is relieved he saved her life. But poison starts hurting him badly, and he loses consciousness. Miria returns to the village after searching for Dozen, and she sees Marielle is looking for her. So she goes to say her hello, and Marielle asks what she has been doing all day. Miria tells her she went for a walk around the village, and Marielle asks if she wasn't going into the forest. Miria tells her no, and she decides to trust her, as she tells her adventurer from the guild will soon come to meet them. Charmeleon finally opens his eyes, and he notes the effect of poison has gone from his body. As he realizes the Venom Princess helped him, he thanks her for saving his life, and Charmeleon makes the first friend in this world. He takes her to his cave, and prepares some food for her. She likes the food, and he is happy to have someone to eat with. Charmeleon notes they don't have a name yet, so he thinks about giving her a name, but he decides they don't need them. She sees the jar of the special poison, and she starts eating the poison. So Charmeleon wonders how it tastes, and he gives it a try, but he immediately regrets that decision. Next day they go to hunt some food, and they find a pack of wolves, so they work as a team to defeat them. They spend the day working as a team to collect food, and return to the cave in the night. Charmeleon notes she is sleeping too close to him, and he worries she will bite him in her sleep, but he decides not to wake her up. Next morning they go to gather some spices, and he gives her one to try, but she doesn't seem to like it. She then gets attracted by the smell of a mushroom, and Charmeleon notes it stinks like rotten flesh. He sees she badly wants to eat that thing, since it has a very potent poison. But Charmeleon burns it down before she can eat it, so she gets angry at him, and he promises to give her a different poison plant. She brings out her clay gun, so he thinks she is going to attack him. But she shoots it in the bushes to attack a two-faced monster. The monster comes out of hiding, and Charmeleon sees it has overpowered stats and skills, so he thinks about running away. But he notes it also has tracking skills, and decides to fight since he can't escape. Charmeleon charges at it to draw its attention, hoping the princess uses that to hit it with her poison. But the angry face stops his attack, and the weeping face casts gravity on him. Charmeleon struggles to move out of the spell, so the princess hits Weeping Face with a clay bullet, and he gets free from its gravity skill. Charmeleon then hits it with his baby breath, but Two-Face uses its recovery skill to heal itself. Charmeleon sees Weeping Face is casting a more dangerous spell, so he rushes to stop it. He lets the angry face bite him, and hits the Weeping Face with Dragon Punch. The princess bites the Weeping Face with her poisonous fangs, and the poison starts spreading in its body. It tries healing skill to recover from the poison, but it continues to lose HP. So Angry Face bites off the head of the Weeping Face, and Charmeleon learns it's a skill called Sacrifice. The head starts attacking them due to its effect, and it goes after the Venom Princess. Charmeleon tries to go after them, but Angry Face blocks his way. Charmeleon realizes he has to fight it to pass, and he manages to throw it in the air, then slams it in the ground with his Nutcracker skill. Charmeleon then rushes to find the princess, and he tells God to not give him human transformation skill, in exchange let her be okay. He finds some blood on the ground, so he starts calling out to her loudly. The princess comes out of the bushes in her injured condition, and the Weeping Face again tries to eat it, but Charmeleon finishes it off in his rage. He starts crying emotionally for her, and the voice tells him he has received human transformation skill. Miria tells Marielle she has finished the cleaning for the guest, and Marielle tells her she brought a book about monsters for her. Miria opens it, and she notes she can't read it. So Marielle tells her it's an ancient text, and the book has details about monsters' rank. She tells her monsters higher than B rank are extremely dangerous, and only heroes and saints can defeat them. Miria wonders about Rock Dragon's rank, and Marielle tells her it is a C rank monster, but it can go higher after evolution. Marielle senses the adventurers have arrived, and they see they are two girls. The adventurers huddle with Marielle to hash out the details of the quest, and Marielle shooed Muriel away for a while. Then Marielle fills them in on what went down that day with Dozen and Miria. The adventurers set off to find Dozen after getting all the details. One of them is a human called Meltia, and the second one is a dog-like demi-human called Duno. As they plunge into the forest, Duno wonders if they should dig up proof that Dozen is dead. Meltia says they will scour for several days, and check in with whatever they can unearth. Charmeleon covers Princess with some herbs to heal her injuries, then he bolts out of the cave to test out his newly obtained human transformation skill. He comes near the river, and he begins to wonder if he will stay in a human village once he turns into a human. But he also can't bear to part with Princess, so he figures he'll swing back every other day to stay with her. After mulling over all the possibilities, he finally unleashes his human transformation skill. And he is stunned when it transforms him into a gross beast-like demi-human fish. He demands of the voice why he doesn't look like a human, and it shuts him down on an answer at its current level. Charmeleon realizes this form has tanked his attack and defense stats, and it is sapping his MP really fast, so he quickly reverts to his dragon form. Meltia and Yuno have penetrated deeper into the forest, and the duo have wiped out a spider that Charmeleon barely beat. They keep pressing deeper into the forest, and they spot a cave in which Charmeleon is holed up. They observe the entry of the cave sports statues of a human and a dragon, and they notice the jerky Charmeleon left on the trees to dry, so they opt to poke around inside the cave. They step in and discover all the things Charmeleon made to make his stay comfortable there. They unearth a jar full of rare spice pipirus, which is regarded as red gold in the market, so Meltia suspects this cave doubles as a hideout of thieves. The Venom Princess catches their scent, so she moves to confront them. But when she feels Charmeleon nearby, she bolts out of the cave to warn him about the intruders. Charmeleon lingers outside for Meltia and Yuno to leave his cave, as he already spotted them entering it. He muses on how they react after he tells them he made all the items, but he knows they will assume he is a mere monster. So he chooses to activate his human transformation, hoping they will think he is only a demi-human. He attempts to speak to them, but they see him as a dangerous monster. So Yuno pummels him with her hammer, and Meltia blasts him with her magic attack. This forces Charmeleon to revert to his original form. They figure out he is a plague dragon, and they quickly hightail it for their lives. After booking it far away from the cave, they observe Charmeleon isn't pursuing them. Yuno suggests they should check back in with the village, but Meltia counters they lack solid info, so they opt to contact their team to dig deeper. Next day, as Charmeleon wakes up, he heads over to examine his jerky, and he sees the monkeys are still snagging it. He tells Venom Princess about this problem, and requests she brew up a strong poison that doesn't have any color or smell, so he can blend it with the meat. The Venom Princess quickly creates a jar full of poison, and Charmeleon observes it doesn't have any color or smell. He dangles some poison meat on the trees, and lurks behind the bushes to await the monkeys. After some time they spot one of the monkeys chomp down on the poison meat, and other 3 monkeys are baffled by what's happening. So Charmeleon makes a move on the remaining 3, and he is mobbed by them. But Princess aids him in dropping one, and he fells the 2 of them. The monkeys whistle to call for help, and a higher-ranking monster who is also the leader of their clan sprints to the spot. Charmeleon realizes they have comparable stats, but the boss possesses skills to buff its followers. Charmeleon unleashes his breath attack, and monkeys whip up defensive spells to shield the boss. The boss then slaps on buffs on the monkeys, and Charmeleon now can't keep up with their speed. The monkeys succeed in pinning him down, and the boss lunges at him to land a killing blow. The princess attempts to halt it, but it flings her at a tree. Charmeleon snags her before she connects with the tree, and he realizes she is no longer in the fight. Charmeleon knows things will go south if he keeps brawling, so he begs Voice for more information about the boss, praying he'll unearth something to clinch the win. As Charmeleon hears its specs, he sees it has telepathic communication skill. Charmeleon figures he can cut a deal with it, and he proposes to hand over antidote to the poison monkey, but in exchange they have to let them walk. But the boss reckons Charmeleon will be a major problem in the future, so he is ready to write off the monkey to take him out right now. After the negotiations break down, Charmeleon dares the boss to a one-on-one duel. The boss agrees to take on his challenge, and the princess slips the antidote to the poisoned monkey. The monkeys then snatch the princess as hostage, so Charmeleon can't bolt from the fight. As the fight kicks off, Charmeleon grapples to hold his own against the boss, so he starts circling to avoid the fight. But when he realizes they will hurt the princess if he keeps running, he starts trading blows with own skills. He body slams the boss on the ground with his tail, and then pummels him with multiple roll attacks. Charmeleon notes the attack messed up the boss worse than he expected, and it dumped all his MP into the agility and rage. The boss then lands a combo of attacks, and Charmeleon scrambles to avoid its super fast attacks. They start grappling like some wannabe wrestler, and the crowd is eating up the brawl. They both are down to their last punch, and Charmeleon actually lands a hit with his powerful dragon punch, which fells the boss on the ground. But as Charmeleon assumed he had clinched the win, the boss drops him with a final counter punch. When he peels his eyes open, he sees the Venom Princess is okay, so he again crashes out. Charmeleon wakes up again and finds himself inside his cave. He remembers passing out while fighting the boss, and he sees he won the fight because his level went up. He thinks the princess brought him inside the cave, but she points the other way, and Charmeleon sees those 4 monkeys in the cave. He wonders why the monkeys are following him, then he realizes he now has the clan boss title, which means he's become the boss of these monkeys. The princess totally hates them being there, but Charmeleon thinks it's cool because now he can make these monkeys work for him like the unpaid laborers. The monkeys gather lots of fruits and give them to him, but the princess still doesn't like them. She gets jealous of Charmeleon and the monkey's growing friendship, because he doesn't spend as much time with her now. Charmeleon notices one monkey is into cooking, so he starts teaching him how to cook. This makes the princess even angrier, but Charmeleon can't figure out why. He thinks he needs to collect food for the monkeys too, so he starts making pots out of clay to store it. One monkey shows interest in making pots, so Charmeleon explains the whole process to him, and the monkey gets busy making pots. The princess also tries to make a pot to get Charmeleon's attention, but Charmeleon tells her her hands aren't cut out for this work, so she gets mad and leaves. Charmeleon ignores her and makes digging tools out of clay. Then he gives the other 2 monkeys the job of digging and making the cave bigger, which makes the princess even more furious. The next morning, the princess tries to wake Charmeleon up, but he can't stand up because the 4 monkeys are lying on top of him. Even when Charmeleon wakes them up, they don't wake up from their sleep, so he goes back to sleep. This makes the princess angry, and she bites one monkey with her poisonous fangs. Charmeleon sees the poison is super strong, so he asks her to give the monkey the antidote. The princess gives him the antidote and fixes him up. Then Charmeleon asks her why she bit the monkey, and she points to the food pot, which makes him understand she wants to go out hunting with him. Miria starts to worry about Dozen, because the adventurer hadn't sent any news after so many days, so she decides to go into the forest herself to look for Dozen. Charmeleon and the princess head out into the forest, but the princess still doesn't look happy because he brought the monkeys along on their date. Charmeleon doesn't realize she's upset, and keeps talking about the monkeys, so the princess goes ahead to look for prey. Just then, some wolves show up in front of them, and just as the princess and Charmeleon think they'll hunt them together like before, the monkeys attack the wolves before they can, which irritates the princess even more and she walks away. Meanwhile, Miria goes deep into the forest searching for Dozen. She catches a glimpse of Dozen a little further away. She starts chasing after him, and ends up in a monster's territory. On the other side, Charmeleon realizes his mistake with the princess, and tries to cheer her up. He promises that next time he won't bring the monkeys on their date, and the princess gets happy and hugs him. Charmeleon tells her she's the most important thing to him. Just then he hears Miria scream. He realizes Miria's life is in danger and wants to go there, but he thinks if there are other humans with Miria, the princess's life might be at risk, so he leaves her there and runs to save Miria. But the princess follows him, and gets hurt by hitting a rock while doing so. Charmeleon notices she still has a lot of HP left, so he leaves her there and goes to save Miria. A pack of Mahawolves chases Miria and surrounds her near a tree. Then, just as one Mahawolf pounces on her, Charmeleon shoves it away and saves Miria. The voice tells him that the Mahawolves can share info with other Mahawolves using their third eye, so Charmeleon tries to check their status, but he can't see the info because his skill level is too low. The Mahawolves start attacking him, and he beats them up with his various skills. Then he tries to talk to Miria, but she gets really scared of him because she can't recognize him. Charmeleon tries to explain who he is, which reminds Miria of Charmander, so she gestures for him to wave his hand. Charmeleon understands she's asking him to wave his hand like before, and he waves his hand to signal to her, which makes Miria realize he's her friend. Soon the rest of the Mahawolf pack arrives, so Charmeleon grabs Miria and starts running away from there. On the other side, Marielle and Gregory were searching for Miria everywhere, but when they couldn't find her anywhere in the village, Marielle decides to go into the forest to look for her. Meanwhile, the adventurers also return with the rest of their party to search the forest. But before that, they decide to go to the village and talk to Marielle. Charmeleon is running away with Miria, with a whole pack of Mahawolves chasing him. Charmeleon starts thinking of a way to escape them. Then he notices the path ahead is narrow. He figures the Mahawolves won't be able to surround him there, so he stops to fight them. As the Mahawolves pounce on him, he roasts them like chickens with his fire. After dealing with them, he starts running away with Miria. He considers taking her back to the village, but he is scared the same thing will happen to him as before. He wants to ask Miria why she came into the forest, but he can't due to the language barrier. Miria says something to him, and he figures out she is thanking him. Then he asks the voice to show his further evolution tree. The voice shows him 4 paths of evolution. The first is Dark Drago Human, who looks like a demi-human. The second path is the Roll Dragon, which has less strength but very high speed. The third is the Light-type Little Arc Dragon, known for its white magic and high intelligence. And the fourth is Jormungand, whose body is like a giant snake, and its body is full of venom, due to which the ground it passes over becomes barren. Charmeleon starts thinking about choosing his evolution path. Just then, Miria spots a waterfall ahead, so she asks him to stop there. Both of them stop at the waterfall to rest. Charmeleon begins to think about choosing his future evolution path. He's interested in the speed of the Roll Dragon, but he thinks it won't be very useful in a fight. Then he considers evolving into the Light-type Little Arc Dragon and Dark Drago Human, which he feels are good options for making friends with humans. But he worries the princess won't accept him in his demi-human form. Thinking about all this, he starts getting upset. Miria asks him what's bothering him, and he tries to tell her his problem, but Miria doesn't understand anything. Then Miria tries to say something to him in simple words, which Charmeleon understands is her telling him her name. This happens because his Greek language level has increased to 3. Then they start playing there, and evening falls like this. Miria tells him she is looking for her companion in the forest. Charmeleon understands what she's saying, but he can't speak his mind to her. So he asks her with gestures who she is looking for. Miria says she is looking for Dozen. Charmeleon gestures that he understands who she's looking for. This makes Miria sure that Charmeleon is Charmander, and she happily hugs him. Then she asks Charmeleon for his name. He gestures that he doesn't have one. So Miria decides to give him a name. She names him Elugia, which is the name of her favorite flower. Charmeleon likes the name, but the voice says he won't be able to change his name again. Charmeleon doesn't want to say no to the name given by Miria, so he accepts the name, which marks the name Elugia on his stats. Elugia is happy to have a name. Then they hear the sound of fast footsteps approaching them. Elugia understands that the Mahawolves are still chasing them, so he runs away with Miria. He sees one Mahawolf chasing him, and Elugia notes that it's being given magic energy from outside, which makes him think they are being controlled by someone. Further ahead, he sees a pack of Mahawolves that surround him from all sides. They see Dozen sitting on top of their leader, so Elugia checks his status, but he finds all the information is blank. Elugia doesn't understand the reason for this. He moves to stop their leader's attack. Then Dozen tries to hit him with his sword, and Miria throws a fireball at Dozen to stop him, which knocks him down to the ground. Even after falling, Dozen doesn't let go of the stone he is holding. Just then, they hear the sound of some heavy footsteps. Miria realizes it's the sound of a rock dragon's footsteps. Then Dozen starts moving towards the village with the stone, which makes Miria realize the stone is a rock dragon's egg, and by taking the egg to the village, Dozen is bringing the rock dragon towards the village. If the rock dragon comes to the village, it will cause huge destruction, so they have to get the egg back from Dozen. Elysia starts looking for Dozen with Miria, and the Mahawolves try to stop him. Miria tells Elysia to leave her behind so she can stop the Mahawolves. But Elysia thinks this is a bad idea. Instead, he puts Miria on the ground and starts fighting the Mahawolves. He picks up their leader and slams it hard onto the ground like a cosmic toss. Then he tries to save Miria from their attack, but she gets wounded by a Mahawolf's attack. Elysia catches her before she falls and starts heading towards the village. On the other side, the rock dragon roars angrily while searching for its egg, which can be heard even inside the village. It starts moving towards the village, with that strange slime also present behind it. Dozen is moving quickly towards the village with the egg, and Elysia is searching for him to save the village. Elysia starts running toward the village with Miria, who uses her healing magic on the deep wound on his shoulder. Elysia races toward the village, where Gregory is already engaged in a fight with a Mahawolf. Gregory manages to kill the Mahawolf with his spear. His gaze then falls on Elysia, with Miria riding on his back. Miria explains that Elysia is her friend. Gregory, recalling the time Elysia brought Miria to the village injured, realizes this is the same dragon. Elysia also recognizes Gregory as the man who speared his leg. Gregory apologizes, and Elysia instantly forgives him. A loud roar from the rock dragon then draws their attention. Miria asks Gregory about Dozen and explains his intentions. Gregory decides to join them to find Dozen, and Elysia gestures for him to mount his shoulder. Meanwhile, Dozen enters the village with the egg, and the villagers are happy to see him alive. Chasing after him, Elysia, Miria, and Gregory reach the village. They find out from the villagers that Dozen has gone in the direction of the watchtower. When the rock dragon also enters the village, Gregory asks Miria to help evacuate the villagers, reasoning that she can't fight while injured. Elysia agrees with this decision. Miria stays to help the villagers, and Elysia takes Gregory and heads toward the watchtower. Gregory promises Elysia that once everything is okay, he will help him befriend the villagers, a promise that makes Elysia very happy. Dozen has reached the watchtower and starts killing the people present there. The villagers try to stop him but cannot understand the reason for Dozen's strange behavior. Elysia arrives there with Gregory, and the villagers are surprised to see a dragon with Gregory. Gregory explains that Elysia is their ally, then asks them to quickly leave the village, as the rock dragon has come quite far inside. All the villagers start running out, but one boy stays hidden behind a chest. Dozen easily pushes Gregory down, but when he attacks Elysia, the dragon throws him to the ground. Elysia goes to attack to finish him off with his claws but stops the attack halfway, thinking that killing him would truly make him a monster, so he knocks Dozen unconscious instead. This act confirms to Gregory that Elysia is a friend to humans. However, Dozen regains consciousness, which makes Elysia doubt if he is human. Elysia checks his status and finds it is the same as the Mahawolves. Dozen takes the boy hidden behind the chest as a hostage, preventing Elysia and Gregory from attacking him. Dozen picks up the rock dragon's egg from the ground, then uses his power to climb the watchtower. They see the rock dragon has also arrived. Dozen is about to throw the egg, so Elysia flies up to catch it, but Dozen throws the boy down from the watchtower instead. Elysia quickly catches the boy, but Dozen jumps down with the egg. The egg breaks into many pieces, sending the rock dragon into a furious rage. Meanwhile, Marielle returns to the village and meets Miria, who tells her everything that happened. Elysia sees the rock dragon glaring angrily at Dozen, who is celebrating breaking the egg. The rock dragon crushes Dozen with its foot and roars loudly in anger. Elugia starts to feel that his decision not to finish off Dozen was wrong, but he is happy he saved the boy's life. He hands the boy over to Gregory and gestures for them to run away. Gregory understands that Elugia is going to fight the rock dragon, so he runs away with the boy. Elugia then checks the rock dragon's status. He finds that it has become even more powerful in its rage, yet he decides to fight it so the villagers can have time to escape. Elugia starts attacking the rock dragon, trying all his attacks one by one, but none of them even scratch the beast. Elugia gets injured in the rock dragon's counterattack, and the dragon starts moving toward him to finish him off. Luckily, Gregory arrives with some villagers. They try to stop the rock dragon by shooting arrows at it. This gives Elugia time to recover his strength. He jumps up and kicks the dragon's neck. Then an arrow hits the dragon's eye, but even this doesn't do much damage. The rock dragon counterattacks with a powerful wide area attack, making the ground shake. All the villagers get badly injured, and the dragon also injures Elugia with a tail attack. Elugia doesn't understand how he can fight the rock dragon. He hears the voice of the divine voice, which tells him to run away. But Elugia refuses, so the divine voice decides to leave him, disappearing entirely. Elugia still doesn't change his decision to fight. He decides to evolve to defeat the rock dragon, even though he worries that Miria and the others won't recognize him. He starts thinking about choosing one of the 4 evolution paths. He thinks about this for a long time but can't figure out which one to choose for the battle. Suddenly, there is an interference in Elugia's MP, and the voice says that it has received Laplace Authority interference, which means it can now help him decide. The voice says there is a 4% chance of the little arc dragon winning, but all his companions will be killed. Choosing Jormungand might draw the battle, but there's a big risk of the village being destroyed. The rolling dragon has less than a 1% chance of winning, but he might succeed in running away. Elugia gets annoyed hearing all these predictions because he doesn't see any way to win in them. The adventurers also hear the loud noises coming from the village, so they decide to go check it out. Miria worries if all the villagers have been evacuated. Miria points out few of them have not come yet. And one villager blurts out they went to stop the rock dragon, so Marielle decides to go check it out. Miria declares she will go with her, insisting she can heal the injured people there, so Marielle agrees to take her along. Meanwhile, Elugia is still mulling over which dragon he should choose. He spots Gregory needs immediate healing, so he mulls over evolving into the little arc dragon. But the voice warns him he won't be able to save his injured allies. Elugia shrugs off her warning, and he flies towards Gregory to free him from the rocks. He notices Gregory has lost so much blood, so he struggles to get him out of the rocks. But Gregory shouts there is no need to save him, and he asks Elugia if he is using his true power. Gregory figures Plague Dragon becomes strong after they eat humans, so he urges him to eat him. Elugia explains he gets stronger through evolution, and he suddenly realizes his evolution paths don't have Plague Dragon evolution. So he figures it's because of all the good things he has done, and he needs to level up his evil titles to open that path. Gregory urges Elugia to kill him, so he can become stronger to protect the village. Even though Elugia doesn't want to do that, he ends up killing Gregory to unlock the evil dragon path. The voice informs him all his evil titles have level ups, and now he can evolve into a B-rank Plague Dragon. Voice warns him it is a Calamity Class monster who has destroyed many human villages. But Elugia still sticks with evolving into it, and he becomes a Plague Dragon. One villager who witnessed how Elugia killed Gregory escapes the scene to spill the beans about it. Now with his new power, Elugia faces the rock dragon. He grabs its head and strikes it with his claws, but the rock dragon didn't take much damage. Meanwhile, the villager reaches the spot where Marielle and Miria are, and he takes them to show Gregory dead body. He claims the Plague Dragon killed Gregory, but Miria refuses to believe he could do something so extreme. He describes how he got bigger after killing him, so Marielle figures he evolved. Miria still refuses to believe him, and Marielle tells her they don't have time for this, since they need to heal the injured villagers. Meanwhile, Elugia is fighting with the rock dragon. He hits it with his new skill Whirlwind Slash. But he realizes it still has so much HP, so he plots to hit at its weak spot. Elugia guesses its weak spot is its head, so he attacks its head with several of his attacks, which causes it to go blind. The rock dragon panics after losing its sight, and it charges in the direction of the village, so Elugia struggles to stop it. The rock dragon starts hitting him with its head, and Elugia flips his wings as he moves to stop it, which accidentally releases his dragon scale powder. Elugia realizes his poison is damaging the rock dragon, and he spots its neck as the weakest part of his body. So he starts punching its neck with his powerful punches. He finds the weakest spot on its neck, and delivers a final blow with his neck-breaker skill. Elugia manages to defeat the rock dragon. He falls down on the ground to take some rest. After some time he spots Miria has come to meet him, and she is able to recognize him in his evolved form. She starts walking close to him, but Miria warns her not to go close to him, and she starts hitting him with her light magic. Miria moves to stop her. She claims he is their friend. But Miria refuses to trust her, since she believes Elugia intentionally killed Gregory to evolve. Miria still believes there is some misunderstanding between them, so she jumps to defend him from Mariel's attacks. Elugia becomes happy she still trusts him, but he accidentally releases his poisonous scale powder in the air, which kicks in and affects Miria. So Elugia pushes her away from him, and he flies away to protect them from himself. Mariel quickly casts a healing spell on her, but Miria still insists Elugia is her friend. Elugia saunters up to a river to check his new look. He observes he has now become very strong. His eyes then fall on the flower before him, and voice informs him it's the Elugia flower, which reminds him Miria named him Elugia because she believes he is a hero. Elugia concludes he cannot use this name anymore, so he orders the voice to change his name. But the voice snaps he cannot change his name. This makes him really frustrated. As he lies down on the ground, he hears someone coming from behind, but he doesn't care about anything anymore.